Start streaming. And we're live. There we go, we got that down over there. You can have this over here, so it's kind of hidden behind me. Ugh. We're live. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I still don't like how that's doing that. Hold on. There, let's try moving this over a little bit. That seemed to smooth it out a little bit. Yeah, it's a little better. It's not ideal, but it's still better than it was. But aloha, you can call me Craw. Today we are, I just realized the pieces I need are behind the curtain. I'll be right back. Whoop. There we go. Wait, it's this side that keeps getting the creases. Let's try turning my fan off, see if that helps with it. There. Alright. Aloha! You can call me Craw. Today we are doing some Lego MOC work. For those who do not understand MOC work, MOC is an abbreviation for my own creation. And the idea behind it, and I just realized I still don't have all the pieces I need. I went live and I don't have all the pieces I need. I mean, we have the pieces to get things started. But we don't have the pieces to get it like looking really, really good. So for those who do not understand what MOC works, the MOC stands for my own creation. And the idea behind it is that when you build with Lego bricks, build with Lego, oftentimes you are just following instructions, right? And the idea behind MOC work is that you are taking Legos and you're creating something of your own. This isn't like high-tech MOC work we're doing right here. This is low-tech MOC, but we're doing anyway. Pretty much what it is I have a winter village that I've created, or I'm in the process of creating. And it, it's going to be kind of a winter scene, a diorama, so to speak. And part of it is I have a train that goes around it. Now, when you buy Lego pieces, a Lego train set, it kind of looks like this. Train tracks. Well, of course, these need to pop off too. Pop off, pop, 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 pop. Right? It kind of is this thing that doesn't really look like a train track. It meets the bare minimum requirements. So we do things to make the train track look a little more realistic. And one of the things that we do is we do what's known as ballasting. And there's lots of YouTube videos out there on the interwebs to teach you how to ballast things, particularly if you were to ballast a straight track. So this is what's known as a straight track. It's a piece that is straight. There's pieces on how to do curve videos, right? There's videos on how to make a curve ballast. But there isn't any that handle this piece, which is known as a switch piece. I honestly haven't found one. So today what we're going to be doing is we're trying to figure out how to do a curved, how to do a switch ballast. How do we do this? Because this looks good. I'm confident I can make this look good, but what am I going to do to make this look good? Make it look like it fits in with the rest of that. That's what we're going to be working on today. So the first thing we need to do is we need to actually remove this from its existing, right? Because right now it is really kind of built into this. Right? And what we're trying to do is figure out how does this fit in with the other pieces. So that's what we're working on. We're working on how to make this look good from a ballasting perspective. So like when I put this down in here, for instance, I can't put that because that runs into that. But I can, actually first things first, let's ballast this top portion, this portion up here, which is where the train weaves in. And for that, what we do we start with one of these. This is a 4x2. And the 4x2 is going to click in right here. It's going to hold in place. But to hold it in place, what we're going to do is we're going to take this okay. We're going to need a 2x1 to go on top of that. So what we're doing is we're trying to fill in this gap. I've done this before, but it's been a while. Then this piece clicks on like this to kind of hold it in place. Then we use this 2x1 with a slider to come in here to really kind of hold it in firm. And then these are 2x1 sliders as well. These actually come in like this. I was off. Hopefully everyone's having a good time. Actually need to move these over one. There we go. You can see what we're doing is we're forming kind of this nice arc.
Holy Toledo!
Holy Toledo! Aloha! Coated Lemura, and that needs to get moved. Nope, that's the wrong thing. How are you doing, Coated? Welcome into the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Coated, you're really missing out. Wonderful human being. A valued member of my community. Valued member of lots of people's community for all the wonderful stuff that they do on Twitch on a constant basis. How are you doing today? How was the rest of your stream, my friend? Aloha, Rabazan. Aloha, Skillful Owl. How are you both doing? Oh, Coda knows the joke. For those who do not know, the stream title is always a joke in my chat, and my go live notification also always a joke for the benefit of those who do not get the go live notification. You're going to want to type Albert Einstein to get the joke that you would have gotten for the go live notification. I appreciate that you like that one. I thought that was a good one. So right now what we're doing is we're trying to figure out this. I can get rid of that because I don't need that piece there. Aloha, Viva La Walnut. How are you doing? Coded mahalo for contributing to the Amongst Sam challenge. For those who do not know, our challenge this month is to, and that is just going to rub up against that the wrong way. I can tilt it and it will fit in perfectly, okay? Yeah. Is going to have my son play Among Us with my friends. If we can raise the Mahalo rewards points. Okay. Today what we're doing is we are trying to figure out how to ballast this wonderful curved connection onto this seam. Because there's lots of videos how to do a straight one, how to do a curved one, but there isn't any for this connector here. And I've got 2 of them, so I need to figure out how to do it. Now, this is actually going to be interesting because this is a perfect square here. So what I'm actually going to do is just is that really not clicking any better than that? That hurts. It doesn't click into anything. Alright, I got an idea. Oh, mahalo for that. I was thinking to myself, and this is one of the things, I have this retractable green screen. And one of the problems I have with it is I don't use it. One, I wish it would be a little more flat at the top. Because it's on a it's on a rail. It just gets, I keep looking over here because this is where my camera normally is, but I need to be looking here. It just always gets too bunched up. So I need to do a better job of keeping it flat when it's not in use. Let's actually do okay, so that is the wrong side, but if that goes in like that, there it goes, okay. Let's see, can I get one of these 4s in there as well? There we go. There we go. Now, that doesn't do me a whole lot of good because that is running up against that right there. So let's get this 4-1 out. But let's leave this in there. Nope, that's also not going to do me a heck of a lot of a good. So let's go to a 3. There, that's as good as it's going to get, I think. But I also can move this 3 over 1 to click in like that. And now let's put this over here. right? That will then hold them in together like that. There's just a little bit of overhang on that, but if I twist that, it will miss it. Okay. Alright, cool. So as you can see, what we've done is we're filling in the gaps here. And you know what I'm going to do? I kept looking at this going, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense that I'm missing these bars. So I'm going to go grab, I'm going to put the Be Right Back up screen. If you've never seen my Be Right Back screen, it's the best one on Twitch. But I just need to go get these pieces from the basement real quick. So I'm going to be right back.
Dad will be right back.
Dad will be right back.
He might use the bathroom.
He might get a snack.
He might move Audrey.
He might move Sam to his bedroom.
He might move Maggie.
He might go to get a snack or a drink in 5 minutes.
He might be right back in 1 minute or
2 minutes.
3 minutes.
4 minutes.
5 minutes.
6 minutes.
7 minutes.
8 minutes.
9 minutes.
10 minutes.
Or an hour. If you see a streamer's name pop up in the chat, he might come to rate someone.
He might just come to go. He might just come to go to the bathroom also. And please don't say he needs to go poop.
And I was ready for the grand finale, and we all shout, he's gonna be right back.
He's gonna be right back.
Dad will be right back.
Dad will be.
Alright, I'm back. Mahalo for saying my kids are cute. So this is what I wanted to do. Oh, wait. I did this backwards. There. Also means I need to pop this off. There. Okay, okay. So as you can see, now that you've done that, okay, we can create this wonderful effect and I need to put these on top of having what is it? I need these two. Of having the spires, or the whatever the wood pieces on the track, go across, right? So as you can see, it's trying to transform this, which doesn't really look like train tracks, to this, which starts to look a little bit like train tracks. So you see what I'm doing? Have fun in your yoga session, Viva Luana. I always appreciate it. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make this look and appear a little bit more like actual train tracks. We have that. Now let's work on our next one. So it is across. And then I need one of these. Up here. Then I need another one to click in like that. And then I need one of these to go underneath it like that. And then once I have those pieces together, it clicks into there. And then this goes over the top to make it look more like a train track. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough of these 1x1 light gray, bluish gray tiles, I think. I should check my box over here on the right to double check. So that's going to be the thing that prevents me from doing it all the way, but let's just double check real quick. No, I have no more in that color. I'll have to order some more off of Bricklink at some point. Turn back on the fan. We'll ruin the green screen, but I don't care. I'm getting very hot in here. Alright, let's keep working on this wonderful design. So I need two 2x4s. One of you is going to go here, I believe. One of you is going to go in the middle. And one of you is going to go like this. And then you click in here to hold everything in place. You cover the gap. And then you keep the ballast look going. I need to put you on too. Might as well put these one rungs on right now while I'm doing it. Aloha, Devoted. How are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know Forever Devoted, she is a wonderful human being. She's a mom. She's a streamer. Just cherish the time you have with a person like that who's just wonderful. Check her on out. Tonight, Forever, what we're doing is we're taking Lego train tracks, specifically these curved and the switcher plates, and we're making them look pretty so they look more like actual train tracks like down here as opposed to just kind of stuff. And then we're putting them on here to make my winter train layout look nice and fancy schmancy. So that's what we're doing today. Yes, everyone, please go check her out. She's wonderful. She's a mom. She does great, positive streams. It's just, all in all, I really feel like when I'm watching her, I'm hanging out with like a good friend, and that's all you can really ask for in a streamer. Oh, to be entertained too. She's very entertaining as well. But you know what I'm saying. It is looking awesome. I'm really happy with it. This is one of those projects that will like almost never end. But that's part of the fun of it, is that every year I work on it a little bit more. Every year it gets a little better looking. That's the goal. So yeah, so now that we're in this straightaway part, it's going to be interesting to see how things line up. But again, like I said, what we're just trying to do is to see how it looks. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be better than it did. Alright, this is not clicking in. That needs to turn a little bit. There it goes. Oh, he's off on Wednesday, so he's been hanging out, having a... That is awesome. I'm so happy you had that time off. Wednesday's a day both my wife and I work. And we actually both work from home on Wednesdays. Which is always fun. Always fun. Always good to have her around. But yeah, Winter Village, it's one of those things, like, when I first thought of what I wanted to do for Winter Village, part of me always was, like, scared that I bit off way too much, more than I can chew on it. Because I did envision a very, very large, impressive thing. And I'm nowhere near being done with it, right? Like, I'm still working on, like, the train layout, and I'm on like year 2 of this. But I feel like when it's done, it's going to be very, very cool. There we go. And then that can click in. Now, hopefully, that did not ruin my alignment up down here too much. Nope, it looks like it's just going to hold. Oh, I pushed that in. And the great thing about this is once we get this snapped into place, this will help support it more. Now, this needs to come up here. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off. And try this instead. There we go. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then we can put that in there. Like I said, this is actually a straightaway in the middle of the curve. Okay. Now this one appears to be actually reversed. So what I want to do, now that I'm looking at this, I want to take that 3 out and I want to put a 4 in. And what we're going to do is we're hoping that this will fit in there. Because what it is now the curve is reversing, right? Because it was arcing this way, and now it's got to arc this way. So the bottom is now the top. If that makes any sense to y'all. And the hard thing is going to be, how do I attach something in here? That's going to be the hard part. It may not be firm in there. It may just kind of sit around. So yes, Forever Devoted, my kids' Lego pieces are a hot mess. Mine are very well organized because I am an adult. Right, this is going to want to go on that. And now let us get... Where is my 3? Right over here. And that's going to go there. Now let's look at how this sits in here. This is going to want to sit in like... Not like that, because I need it to be... Okay. Okay, let's think about it again. How... I grabbed it from the wrong side. Let's look about how it needs to appear up here. I need that to be... like that. That is where that gap is going to go. Okay, okay. Now that's not going in there because of that piece. I mean, I bent that in a little bit and it just kind of jammed it in place. And now all we can hope is that that's going to hold. And I did it wrong again. I did it wrong again. It needs to be off of... like that. Okay. that is how it needs to go. And it needs to go in like that. Okay, yeah, that looks better, right? Because then I can take this. Well, I need to get a 3. I need to get a 3 by 1 of these to cover that gap because this little thing is in the way here. So for those who, yeah, let's do it on the bigger camera for you guys. This is a 4 by 1, right? So this is going to be 4 studs wide. It can't go there because that piece is blocking it. So I'm going to need to replace this with a 3 by 1. But that's how it's going to look. Okay. Okay, I like that. I like that. Let's keep working the barrier here. This is going to click there. Because this interior here is really going to suck. It is really going to suck. If you want, I mean, you probably saw it on my Instagram very briefly, but you could see how the curve comes down here for a portion of it. You can get an idea of how it's looking. All right. And then that can go there. We're just going to build this top section out. Okay. And I can't do it on this one. This one has got a solid bottom. So let's put a 2 by 3 here to cover that gap. Oh, won't work. So that's how that's going to click in. And that, ironically, I got to pull out. I got to pull out one piece all the way in here. And that's going to suck. Are you going to use that pretty blue for the ice water? Yeah, so the pretty blue that you saw in that picture, that is actually kind of a water feature that I have off the side of what I'm trying to build. I'm going to have to dig in to get this out. Son of a... Alright, let's pull it up. Hey, look, a bonus piece that we found that was worth it. We found a missing piece. Alright, and then this has to come up. Then this comes up. And then this. And then I can get underneath and I can dig that up. And now I can pull that piece up. All that to pull this one stud out of my way. Now we can put a 2 by 1 back there. There we go. Okay. There we go. Back in. Okay. So then when this goes back on top now, let's look at it again. Now the thing that's kind of annoying to me is trying to figure out how these pieces fit in. Right? So it's roughly about, let's get these pieces out of the way. Until roughly about a line that's right here, I want to have no right? These are all going to have stuff underneath it. Starting at roughly there. Let's see. Okay. It's not really going to do me any good, though. because it's not lined up, right? I think I'm just going to have to accept the fact that I'm not going to be able to do spokes in here. Like, this will be my last spoke, and then all this is going to be kind of spokeless. I'm just going to have to accept that. Yeah, I'm going to have to just accept that. But still, it looks a lot better than it did when we started. Now we can punch this on in. We can connect it up here as well. Come on, where are you? Come on. There we go. Come on, pop in. Come on. Alright, let's pull this and pop that in. That's causing some problems. Come on. There it goes. And now it's on the stud. And there we go. Voila. Yeah, I finally got in here. Alright, I was going to start my stuff stream. What type of beer are you having? And I just realized this whole time my microphone's been over here and y'all but just listen to absolute garbage. I apologize for that. Alright. So I think this is as good as we're going to get it. I mean, this still looks a lot better than when it started. It's just not as good as I would like it to be. Right? Yeah, and we're missing some 1x1 studs. We're missing a 3x1 stud here. Here, we'll put this one right there. Yeah, so we're missing some 1x1 studs. And once we have the 1x1 studs, we can put these little finishing pieces on, and that will help get the illusion across. But I'm happy with this. This one started off a lot further along than the next piece we're going to pull out, which is the exact same piece but reversed because it's on the other side of the train station. I figure once I get it going, I'm going to probably put some like snow stuff in here to make it seem like there was snow over here. Like this is a snowy field. There's got to be some snow in here. So we can take this piece. That's as good as it's going to get until I get another Bricklink order. Now this piece needs some work. This needs work in a lot of regards. The first regards is that when I originally had done this piece, let's pull this all out. The pieces on it were different, right? So this piece here, the straightaway was on this side. And then when I took the straightaway, and then the curve was over here. And then I realized I didn't want that to be the case. I wanted the curve to be further back because it just aligned better to do that. So we have to actually rebuild the bottom part of this so that it looks better. If that makes any sense. Oh, look at that. Aloha, how many times has Aloha the bot like said it's line? Yeah. Alright, so let's pull these pieces off because we don't need them on. This is going to just screw up me trying to put these back on later. Or not. Oh, I know. There we go. There it goes. Taking all these pieces off now will just make it that much easier to put it back together later. What we need to do is we need to disassemble pretty much all of this section here and rebuild it so that the flat tiles is underneath the path over here. That's what we have to do. This is the fun. This is where the fun happens. So let's pull these off. These, of course, if you don't know what these pieces underneath are, is this is what's known as MILS base plate building for Lego. The idea being that you take these very flexible base plates, and then we put these 2x2s and these on top of it to form a really rigid base. We use Technique connector pins on the edges, like here, as you can see, so that you can connect the base plates together very easily and form a town very quickly. So let us, look, we're going to have to pull off these two as well. Someone else came up with it, not me. I've just followed the plans. Alright, so now we know this. Where's a 2x2? That one may come off as well. Yeah, that one's going to have to come off as well. Alright, so let us, because all of this comes out as well. Ugh. This is the fun of it. This is where the fun begins. And this was going to be the majority of the stream today. And in a weird way, we can almost just repeat what we did on the other side. But I don't know. I tend to be a chaos builder, and the chaos in me just says, build it as we go. You build houses and ships, they always turn out so cool when you just break them apart and start all over. Exactly. Agreed, entirely. So as you can see, because these are flat tiles, they don't really make 4x4s in flat tiles, and I wouldn't want them to because I want to be able to get a studs as close as possible to it. So the portion that's under the flat tiles here is actually a ton of bricks, believe it or not. I still followed the, whatchamacallit, the MILS system. I just filled in the gaps. We're going to pull all of these off because we're going to have to do a lot more of them. There we go, let's pop that back in. Luckily, I have plenty of these grays and plenty of these whites. How was my day at work? It was a good day at work, you know? I have one of those jobs that I'm pretty good at what I do, and as long as nothing breaks, I have a pretty relaxing job. I do have to build things and create new things for people to do things with, but for the most part, my job is to make sure that nothing breaks, and so it really is a lot of preventative maintenance. So it's a lot of like just double checking things to make things are running as expected, make sure they're not approaching any item limits. And then when people come up with, hey, this is something that I'd like it to do, figure out how to make it happen. I do like working from home. I was a work from home employee well before COVID began. And so for me, it's funny because when I was working from home initially, I watched a lot of movies in the background or I listened to music. And I didn't really get into Twitch until I started broadcasting on Twitch, believe it or not. I'm one of those weird people who started broadcasting on Twitch before I started watching other people broadcast on Twitch. I know that sounds very counterintuitive. I did no research on what Twitch was actually like before I went live. And so then I started watching other people I worked, and that kind of happened. And sometimes I go through phases where I watch nothing but Twitch streams all day in the background when I'm not in the meetings. And then there's days where it's like, I honestly cannot turn on Twitch and watch one more second of what's happening. There are days where I'm just like, screw everyone, screw the world, I don't care. I'm going to just listen to music and just watch some Battlestar Galactica, maybe some Star Trek. And there's no shame in that. You go through the cycles. I think everyone does when they go through what they do on Switch. That, you know what I mean? You watch a portion of some stuff, and then after a while you just ask yourself, is this really how you want to be spending your free time? As terrible as that is to say, right? I mean, right now, forever, you're sitting on a... bench, drinking a beer, watching me on Twitch. Why? Don't get me wrong, I'm super flattered you're doing that, but why? And I think that's something that I go through a lot with when I look at my own Twitch watching habits. Why am I watching it? What is the value for me in that moment in time to watch that? We're going to pull this one up here too as well. You're hanging with your friend while they play. Exactly. No, but again, it wasn't meant to be a shaming question. It was meant more as a, what's the value? And there's times where you don't want to hang with people, where you just want to, watch TV or something, right? Or you just want to listen to music. And I think that is something a lot of people struggle with when they think about their own Twitch usage, is how much is too much? When do they really got to say, hey, let's tone down how much Twitch I'm watching? Yeah. And I think what I've done for the last kind of month is I've said, all right, I'm going to... Because generally what happens is I'll look to see who's on Twitch. I'll look to see who's streaming something I want to watch. And then I'll just kind of, if I couldn't find anyone I watch, I'll find someone new. And I think I've kind of gotten over that like grind to find new people consistently right now. Maybe I'll have the energy to do it again, but I think just right now it's like, all right, we're gonna take a break from constantly trying to find new friends on Twitch. Okay, that is going to cover that up almost perfectly. But let's pull these out. Because these pieces are not needed. I need 4x4 grays. I just realized I don't seem to have a ton of right here. I think I have some over here in the back area. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to need to run downstairs and get some more bricks. I know where they are. Hold on just 1 second. Enjoy the Be Right Back screen if you haven't already seen it.
Dad will be right back.
Dad will be right back.
He might use the bathroom.
He might get a snack.
He might move Audrey.
He might move Sam to his bedroom.
He might move Maggie.
He might go to get a snack or a drink in 5 minutes.
He might be right back in 1 minute or
2 minutes.
3 minutes,
4 minutes.
5 minutes,
6 minutes.
7 minutes,
8 minutes.
9 minutes,
10 minutes.
or an hour. If you see a streamer's name pop up in the chat, he might come to rate someone.
He might just come to go. He might just come to go to the bathroom also. And please don't say you need to go poop.
And I was ready for the grand finale, and we all shout, he's gonna be right back.
He's gonna be right back.
Dad will be right back.
Dad will be right back.
He might use the bathroom.
He might get a snack.
He might move Audrey.
He might move Sam to his bedroom.
He might move Maggie.
He might go to get a snack or a drink in 5 minutes.
He might be right back in 1 minute or
2 minutes.
3 minutes,
4 minutes.
5 minutes,
6 minutes.
7 minutes,
8 minutes.
9 minutes,
10 minutes.
or an hour. If you see a streamer's name pop up in the chat, he might come to rate someone.
He might just come to go. He might just come to go to the bathroom also. And please don't say you need to go poop.
And I was ready for the grand finale, and we all shout, he's gonna be right back.
He's gonna be right back.
Dad will be right back.
Dad will be right back.
He might use the bathroom.
He might get a snack.
He might move Audrey.
He might move Sam to his bedroom.
He might move Maggie.
He might go to get a snack or a drink in.
All right, I'm really am back. Oh yeah, no, fall is definitely coming for us. Forever. Fall is definitely coming for us. It's I mean, we're in New England, so we have a slightly different sense of what fall means than you guys do. No shame in that. But there's a lot more dread, I think, in fall for us. Just because we're dealing with fun stuff. Oh, I was wondering where this guy went. Put him over here. All right, so this is my box of light gray. Because this is going to be filling in this gap over here. Let's get all of these little pieces out next. There we go. Okay. All right, let's pull these out. So yeah, you know, we get to do the leaf removal. Let's get this out of the way because we don't need it right now. I hate leaf removal. That's the one thing I hate the most about fall here in New England. All the leaves. At this point, we pay for someone to come remove our leaves for us. But I absolutely hate it. This brick does not want to stay in place. It keeps coming off. Yeah, so as you can see, we're exposing again the underbelly to get to the modular MILS plates. Oh, that's why that piece didn't come up, because it actually is my little 4. There we go. There it goes. Yeah. And then what we can do is we can start using these to fill in the gap that the train track is going to go around, right? So to speak. This area. Always the fun of it all. It's weird. I always go back and forth on how much I need should be cataloging my pieces that I'm using, right? 'Cause like I got a ton of these 2x1 white bricks. Should I be using them as filler space? What happens if I need a bunch of 2x1 white bricks later? Educated Gamer, mahalo for the cheer, my friend. Welcome to the chat. Baby, as you get down for the night, going to clean up before heading to bed, but I'll leave what open tap. Aw, mahalo for that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know Educated Gamer, they are a phenomenal streamer. I finally have had the honor of being in their streams. High school teacher, teaches history, has channel point redemptions for like learning a fun fact. Overall, check him out. Really interesting, cool dude. Greatly appreciate having them a part of my community and being a part of their streams when I have the opportunity to. Alright, so that's going to go there. And again, let's try connecting it so we can see exactly how far we can get this. So really, it's just going to be this group that I can do it for. See, how does that cover up? Put that on there. Yeah, that's going to have to be tile to there. So we're going to have to at least do tile in this one. And we're going to have to do tile to here too. This is our tile line here. Where else am I going to need tiles? Yeah, this can be a 4, but these are all going to have to be tiles. Okay. So I didn't gain that much real estate. Alright, like I didn't gain that much real estate by moving that. But this is definitely going to be able to be a tile. So that's what we're doing now. We're trying to see where can I put tiles, where do I not have to have tiles, all that fun stuff. Absinthe Echo, welcome to the chat, my friend. Wow, forever your leaves get blown to dust. You grew up in Illinois and in winter celebrity. We don't do snow removal. I don't have that big of a. I don't have sidewalks. I live on a corner. And both sides of the street have, on both sides of my house, I have no sidewalks. So I only have a double wide, 3 long car. That's all I have to worry about. I can do that in 20 minutes with a snowblower. Aloha, Absinthe Echo. How are you doing, my friend? Are you having a good time? Yeah, so we're definitely going to be able to do that. That's just a bummer. I thought I was going to be able to get more. Alright, let's see what else do we have. I took off time for the stream to go do that. I think I have another 4x6 in here. I do. So that's what we'll do. We'll use these two 4x6s. Right, because they're going to click there. And let's also put one there. There we go. Because this is our barrier. This is where we're going to have to start tiling again. And I'm going to have to tile pretty much. I mean, this can at least be normal studs. It doesn't have to be tiles. But I have to have pieces under it. This is a lot of territory I have to do this to. Oh well. This is part of the fun. This is why I do the Lego streams. And particularly an MOC stream. That's what I really am enjoying about this. I feel like a lot of times my Lego streams tend to be just other people's work, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. It's just always good to be able to do something that is my own creation. Figure it out in Lego. I've got a couple of the Lego projects I'm working on in terms of things I'm trying to do. It's always a good challenge. There we go. It's all coming together now. Yeah, I don't think I have enough pieces to do all of this. I'm gonna have to raid into my stuff. Do they give you directions? No, this is all me creating it on my own. This is all me figuring it out. When you build a set, you know, when you get like the bonsai tree, there's instructions, but this is just me figuring out how it fits together. I mean, there are people out there who have made videos on how to do like this straight and how to do the curve, right? And I learned from those people how to do it. But there is no like official Lego how to do this instruction manual out there, unfortunately. It is part of the challenge, you know, and I think there's some rewardingness to it, right? And a lot of it is you look at what actually Lego Corporation does and you kind of borrow their ideas. Like one of the things that I'm working on is I'm working on a Oakland Coliseum made out of Lego. For those who do not know, I'm a big fan of the Oakland A's. I'm a big fan of the Raiders. I grew up in Oakland, and as such, I have so many fond memories of going to that stadium. And I've always wanted to make it out of Lego because I felt like, you know, Yankee Stadium out of Lego, that's cute, but I'm not a Yankee fan, right? So there's a certain appeal to making the Coliseum out of Lego, especially because part of the charms of being a Raiders fan and an A's fan is the Coliseum's a dump. No one appreciates it. No one likes it. But it's our house, right? There's a certain pride that comes with it. So, like, for instance, Lego's never going to release an official Oakland Coliseum set. No one should buy that, right? That just isn't a thing that should exist. But, for instance, they've been putting out a couple of stadiums. They've been putting out a football, when I mean football, I mean soccer. They've done 2 soccer stadiums, and then they did the Roman Coliseum. And the cool thing about those sets is there are lessons to be taken from those sets that I can use to apply to my Oakland Coliseum, right? So one of the struggles I was having with the Oakland Coliseum is it's a round stadium. How do you build a round object out of Lego? How do you do that? Right? Lego is square at the end of the day. And so it dawned on me, why not use round tracks, 16 round tracks, to make my perimeter and then build inwards from there? Cool. So now I have my shape of my Lego Oakland Coliseum. And then I was looking at the stadium they built for the soccer teams, and one of the things they did to make the bowl is what's known as the snot technique. Right, so snot sounds really disgusting, but what it stands for is studs knot on top. So if you think about a Lego brick like this right here, right? The stud is on the top of it. So generally when you're placing this in, you place it so the stud's not on top. Well, there's a technique to building where you put it flat like this, and this is now the top. So the stud is not on top. So what they would do to make stands, so to speak, let me pull some of these out. To make gray stands, they just put a bunch together like this, and then they display it like this at an angle. And sorry, I picked green because green is just going to get green screened out on me. I didn't even think about that. But as you can see from the top down, it still kind of looks like seats in a stadium. Right? And the way that they built these stadiums is because while the football stadium, and by football I mean soccer stadium, is square on portions of it, there are portions that are at an angle. And for the stuff that was an angle, what they did was they would build a sliver of it like in the train, and then another sliver, and then the two wedges would gum together like that, and then they would fill in the gap between them. And so I was watching someone build this, and it dawned on me, that's how I build the Coliseum. I'm Minecrafting in real life, exactly. I build my circle and build inwards. It's like I know what to do now, so it's just a matter of doing it. But of course, any resources I plunge into building my Lego Oakland Coliseum are resources I am not going to be spending on this. So do not look for me to finish that anytime soon. Because this is a priority. Getting this done is a priority in my life. Alright, I'm going to need more bricks. Those are minifigures. Nope. Okay, let's go over here and get these ones. So like these are the ones that they really use. They use these ones that have these ridges. I don't know if you can see the ridges in detail very much on those. But there's ridges on the tops of these. It's hard to see. But like, here. Right? And so when you put that at an angle, the little ridges make it look like it's a row of seats. So that was another thing they did. Ooh, here's some threes. This is good too. I'm just going to be rating these bricks down here. And this is conceptually why you have a big collection. So that when you need to raid the pieces, you can raid pieces. I would keep going after these 2x2s, but these in my mind I don't want to burn as badly because they can be, they're used for more specific things, right? So they are a little more expensive to buy on Bricklink. These ones with the grooves and these ones with the little ridges. So I don't want to waste them just having them be inside of a MILS plate. Alright, let's get that, put that back on the shelf. That may not have been enough pieces, but we will find out as we get into this if that was enough pieces. Worst case scenarios, we go and we get some more pieces. I doubt it's going to be enough. Look at this. Perfectly. It lines up by 3. There we go. Well, I'm going to need at least 1 2-piece to go in there. Yeah, I'm going to need a bunch of 2s because these are going to form my rows of 3. I'm still going to need something to fill in these gaps in the middle. I mean, in theory, I could just do this. Right? Why am I sticking to the rigidity of keeping those in place? Oh, here, let's pull this one out too. Right? If I'm filling in this whole gap, why leave those 2 gaps open between them? They're just going to cause problems for me down the road. There's a 2 that I needed over here. Perfect. All right. Put that in there. Like, I'm going to have to go back and get some of those anyway. As you can see, there's still plenty of open space for me to use. But at least I used up all my 1x3s. All right, let's go get some more. What am I drinking? I am drinking Zevia Cola. And sorry, my little thing is covering up my map. Zevia Cola is a soda made with stevia extract. So it is healthier than drinking normal soda, I guess. If that makes any logical sense. I'm a teetotaler, so for me, I'm just going to pull all these ones out. I doubt I need them all, but might as well do it. There. So it's called Zevia Soda. It's 0 calorie. No artificial sweeteners aside from stevia extract. In my mind, it's better than Diet Coke. But it's got carbonated water, stevia leaf extract, tartaric acid, natural flavors, caffeine, citric acid. Some of their flavors are pretty good. Some of them are pretty gnarly. The rule of thumb in my mind when coming up with this stevia extract soda is this a flavor that needs to be, that has tart in it? If it's a flavor that has tart in it, it's a flavor I think that will do well. If it's a sweet flavor you're trying to do, it's not going to work out well for you at all. There we go. Excuse me. I'm a teetotaler, so for me, I don't drink any alcohol. Not that there's anything wrong with drinking alcohol. But as a Methodist, it's kind of our thing. For those who do not know, Methodists invented grape juice because they did not want to have wine in communion. So next time you're enjoying yourself some grape juice, thank the Methodists in our teetotaling ways. There we go. Okay. Two, three. Yeah, see, this one I might have been able to... I mean, that one probably may end up being there, so I'm just going to leave that as a potential. But I've already filled in the gap, so... No harm, no foul. If it can't go that way. Okay. Now that we have that, we can start putting in more of our foundation of the gray tiles, because the gray tiles are where we're going to get some gripping action. Some sweet gripping action. So that can be a 4. And that can be a 4-1 that goes there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I tend to talk about my faith sparingly just because I do know that faith has hurt a lot of people, and I want to respect their experience. That could be a 4. Right? I recognize that. There's been a lot of wrong done in the world by the name of faith, so I try not to talk about it too much. But my parents were both Catholics who fell out with the church during Vietnam. And when my brother went to a summer camp that happened to be run by a Methodist group, he came back just asking one too many questions about God. So my parents were like, cool, let's take them to a church. And they didn't realize it at the time, but the preschool that my brother was attending was also put on by the Methodists. And so when they went to bring him to church and they realized that the preschool teachers were the Sunday school teachers... Oh, I knocked that down a little bit. I knocked my camera. And how easy it could be to introduce their kids to religion if their kids already liked the staff. Well, that's how we ended up Methodists. How's that going to click in? Let's just see how these are going to go, spacing wise. Okay. And it's funny because my particular church doesn't have a strong preschool program. I mean, they've got a program, but they don't have as good of an integration between the preschool program and the church. For whatever reason, it's just not as strong as it should be. And I always joke with them, I'm like, look, the reason I'm a Methodist is because the preschool that I went to just happened to be run by a church. And the reason we go to the church that we go to is because they run a preschool and we show up. And we'd been kind of going to the church. We hadn't really been that super involved. It was like we would show up every now and then. And they're like, oh, you get a 5% discount if you're members. And we're like, where do we sign up? And, we feel we feel validated with our choice to send our kids there. We feel like it's the right place for us to raise our kids. And our kids, because they both did preschool there, they feel very at home in that building. And that's the most important thing you can have. The kids feel like that is a home for them. And I hope for the rest of their lives they feel like that building can provide for them as a second home. And it's a beautiful building. Oh my God, I love the building. All right. Okay. So this needs to be a 4. 4 by 1. So again, what we're doing is we're trying to make sure that we fill in these gaps. And this let's do this as gray all the way down. There we go. And I need a 1. Well, I'm sure I'll have a 1 piece later that I can put into that wedge. But yeah, that's how we got involved in the church that we're currently at. And again, we love the church we're at. We think it's the right place for us and our family. But I do like to tell that joke that when we found out there's a discount, we said, where do we sign up? Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be filling in this gap over here with as many whites as I can get my hands on. So like this, for instance, probably won't be good because this needs to be a... Well, actually, let's start building out our ballasting out here. Let's build that action out because that's going to be the most important thing that we do next. So we're going to need to start with 2 of these. We're going to need to take 1 of this. 2 by 1, that's going to connect in there. We need our 2 by 1 by 1 by 2 by 2. Let's see, where is that going to go? Like that. Nope. Yep, okay. Then we need our slide because again, remember this is going to go in here. Like this. And as you can see, I overestimated how much this is going to step out. These need to come out as well. Right? Because when I put this on, that was infringing on that plate, and I think it's that one's also going to infringe on that plate too, that next plate over. But we'll find out. But yeah, that's church for you, right? And I think there's so much of that going on in this world. There's so much anger and there's so much frustration, and a lot of it comes down to people trying to do what they think is the right thing for the world without realizing how it's the wrong thing, to put it bluntly. Okay, so that is going to rest gently in there. That stud right there is just over the line. That's going to be fine. Okay. Groovy. But it's also one of the reasons why I think it's important for people who are moderates or even liberals of faith to be open about it, because if you let the only people who talk about it shape the perception of it, you can't combat the stereotype. Right? It's a lesson I learned from my friends growing up. If you are a part of a group that's being stereotyped for proper or improper reasons, the best thing you can do to fight that stereotype is show that that stereotype does not define you. Show people the option. You haven't really been in church since you're 7-year-old to a 3D health issue. Yeah. But that, I think that's a part of it. If you don't find a congregation that speaks to you, there is no pull to it. And I think that's a thing that a lot of churches are going to face as COVID eventually becomes the new normal, as terrible it is as to say. But as people get used to the idea that they can go out, how do churches combat people who have gotten used to not going to church for all this time? Right? If you think for your own journey, and again, not to put you on the spot or anything, but if your own journey, you were to say, I'm going to go to a church again, it would be out of your routine. You would have to consciously say, this is something that I want to do. You'd have to consciously seek it out. You'd have to consciously do a lot of things. I think for so many people, things like religion and all that stuff can just get on autopilot because it's easy. And so for churches to get people to come back into it, to come back into the faith after this, by the time this is over, 3 years or so, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. Okay. Now let us... Where's the threes? Where was the threes? Here are the threes. And it's a problem that all churches are going to face. It really is a problem that all churches are going to face. And all organizations are. Right? So I'm on the board of a nonprofit, and we have an annual gala every year. And we have to convince people that we still exist and that they need to come out this year. Because if we don't do it this year, next year we'll have gone 2 years without having it. How many years can we not have it before people stop caring? Sad truth. How many years can you not have it before people stop caring? All right, let's put our slide whistle on here. You have the problem that all organizations are going to face. Especially ones that rely on volunteers. It's not something I keep up at night. So like our church puts on a huge play. I guess is the best way to put it. It really is underserving what it is. But it's a huge 3-day festival with like 6 performances. And it's all indoors, and it's in the middle of January, and it is... How do we convince people to still do it this year? I mean, they reached out to me and said, hey, Brian, this is the role you can have. I'm like, yes, sign me up. I'm 100% there for that. But other people may not be as jump hungry to sign up for something like that. And they don't have to be. They don't have to be. Everyone will be at their own comfort level. It is trying times. So on a more positive note, what shows do you watch? Besides watching Twitch, of course. Let's talk about something a little more fun than religion and the downfall of volunteerism. One, two. Oh, wait a minute. This one needs to be a 4. That's what that one needed to be. YouTube stuff that your kids are into. Okay. We've been watching The White Lotus. Well, actually, we just finished watching a show called Hacks, which we thought was really funny on HBO. And then we started watching The White Lotus. Hacks was a really funny show. Team Edge, get good gaming. Interesting. It's weird. I never watched YouTube as a television replacement. As weird as that is to sound. I watch a lot of YouTube as I got 5 minutes, I got 10 minutes, let's see something that's good, right? I've never watched in terms of, hey, let's watch something on YouTube as opposed to watching something on, I don't know, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I love a good Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. You've been doing gaming. Hey, gaming is, in my mind, a better use of your mind than watching television. Okay. I'm going to take this out. I think this is what went here. Yeah. That's what went there. Okay. Okay. Now let's start putting in some of these. We gotta fill in that gap up there. You watched This Is Us. How did you like This Is Us, out of curiosity? I mean, you said you once watched it, which implies that you stopped watching it for a reason. It made you cry. Yeah. I felt it was an emotionally manipulative show. Like, more often than not, the show was like, we're going to make you cry purposefully for no good reason. It was purposely misdirecting its audience, and I didn't feel it was honest. That's why I stopped watching it. Alright, this is going to be a 3. Here. And then that can be a 2. Like, one of the episodes that, it was kind of the last straw for me. They were trying to, like, teach us all how did the father figure die in the show, right? And the girl was like, I killed my father, right? Or I'm responsible for his death. And at the time she's talking about that, they're showing flashbacks where the father and the mother are fighting over some stuff. And then the pivotal moment of the season was that the daughter told her dad, who was inebriated, drunk, that he needed to go find mom. I.e., get in the car while you're drunk and go drive to find mom. And she's in the presence crying about this idea that she's killed her father. She's responsible for his death. And he doesn't die that way. And we're like, you're purposely making us feel like he's going to die because of drunk driving through all the things you're setting up. And then you don't even kill off the guy. I'm good. I'm good watching you. I'm over it. Alright, so now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filling in, because I feel like how did we solve that problem over here on this other one? That's the nice thing about that. We have this other one to reference. Oh, sorry. So that last one's going to be 3, and that one... Okay. Okay. We're going to pull this up. And we're going to put down a 4x1 instead. Like, I can put up with a sad show. I just can't put up with shows that are purposely misleading you so that they can do a twist. Like, that's just not good television to me. Right, like, think back to, like, The Sixth Sense. And when we all found out that he had been dead all along. What made that such a good twist? Because everything they had shown us up to it had told us it was true. And it wasn't until we were forced to, like, reckon with this idea that we didn't know he was dead did we, like, recognize our own inability to see that he was dead all along. These are all backwards. So I'm going to switch them over here. And I'm just making them pop. I'm making them pop right now. Alright. Did I see Inception? Yes, I liked Inception. I didn't watch it enough to really do a deep dive into, is it a good movie? I just kind of left it as, that was an interesting movie. I'm glad I watched it. Now I don't have to watch it again. Right? Because I think that a lot of people look at that movie and try to find the deeper meaning behind it. And I just was not interested in going down that deep rabbit hole of... Dun, 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 dun. I wasn't there for that, to put it mildly. All right. I did like it. I think, for me, I can handle bad popcorn action movies as long as it doesn't do anything that, like, insults my intelligence. Like, when you watch something like Cinema Sins, right? And they point out stuff, and you're like, oh, man, how did I not see that? Or you see it yourself, and you're just like, ugh, what are you doing to me? That's when I mentally check out of a movie. Where was the slider? There's the slider. We really like it. We own it. We watched it a few times. I just like the puzzle, like storytelling and music of Inception, right? Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it while I was in the theater. I'd be interested to watch it a second time to see how well it holds up. I find my time to rewatch media is much smaller than I would like it to be. Okay, there we go. Now this one is actually, believe it or not, a 4. So what we can do is we can do that. There. There. This is probably overkill. But we want to really make sure that this piece gets held in there. Something special. There. Beautiful. What did I do for that one? That was my reverse one, right? That was the reverse. Yeah, okay, okay. So this needs to go here. It needs to go in like that. There we go. Now, can I use a 2x3 to help secure that into place a little more? Let's do that. There we go. And I feel really good about that now. Except now this is running up against these. So let's take this off. Let's put a 2x1 into that spot instead. There, that sits a little more flat now, hopefully. Take that out as well. Let's put that there. Now let's put another one there. There we go. Okay, there it goes. Alright, cool. Now that we've done that, that sits in there very nicely. We can start doing these grays to fill in the rest of the undercarriage. It's all coming together. Have I always been in New England? No, I was born in Oakland, California. My parents divorced when I was 6, and my dad moved down to Fremont, California. And I lived with my mother in Oakland. And then, for college, I went to San Francisco State University. So I moved to San Francisco. And after college, let's go with a white there. Yeah, I want to put whites there. After college, I moved back to an island in the San Francisco Bay called Alameda. And from there, that's where I met my wife. My wife came out to California to be a grad student. work on her doctorate, and I met her out there. And then when she was doing her postdoctorate work, she got assigned here to Springfield-ish area. And yeah, we moved here for that purpose, and we just kind of settled down here because cost of living is so much lower here than it is in California. It is coming together. It's coming together really nicely. I'm very happy with it. Now, the reason we're using these grays underneath is so in case there's any gaps, it helps fill in the color of the gap. But what we're going to do is, because we want the white to pop off, is we're going to make sure that the stuff that kind of goes underneath but kind of doesn't go underneath is white. Because we want to really see this line against white, right? If we have this kind of jagged edge, it's not going to look nearly as good. By putting the white underneath it, it really makes it much more apparent of what's happening. So really what I'm doing now is I'm trying to see where is my edge line. What are the pieces that have to be in white? And then what I can do is I can fill in these pieces with white studs. Like that could have been a white stud. Yeah, let's go back and fix that. Let's go back and fix that. That one didn't have to be. All right, let's go back and let's look at it again. Because what it is, I want to give myself as much buildable space as I can have in these. Right, so these four are buildable. That one's not. All right, let's see where we're at. That one's buildable. Ugh, that's gonna be tight. I'm gonna sacrifice that one stud because I'm making some good. No, I don't want to squeeze it in there. There we go. That one definitely needs to have. There, we can put that. Yeah, okay, that's perfect. Let's put another white one in this one. Yeah, I like that. Okay. You were born in Texas at elementary, went to Northern Illinois, met your husband, went to Oklahoma, then Colorado, then California, and now back there. We're in Texas, if you don't mind me asking. My dad was born in Houston. Alright, so that's going to need a 2 by 1. Dallas, Fort Worth, the Metroplex. I have some aunts out there. My dad is from a very large family. So we still have family there, although honestly I haven't talked to most of them since my grandma died. My dad's stepmother, that is. Not my biological grandmother. She's still alive and kicking. Okay. Okay. So everything on the inside of this white line that we created needs to now be gray. If that makes any sense to you. Again, if there's a little gap that you can view through, I don't want you to look through and see white for some weird reason. I just don't want you to do that. I don't think there'd be anything terribly wrong with you seeing white when you look through the gaps, because that could imply that there's snow there. I just don't want it. There's nothing wrong with that if that's the approach you want to take. I see some valid reasons why you'd want to do it. As you can tell, I have plenty of white 2x1 tiles. Plenty of white 2x1 tiles. I just don't want to deal with that. Although I'm looking at this pile here of the 2x1 grays, I'm like, uh-oh, am I going to have enough? I think I've got more. Like in one of these bins over here, and I can just go raid them. But I am very happy with how this is coming together. And I'm happy that this took almost the full 2 hours so far. Because that's the thing, when I'm planning out streams, I worry that I don't have enough content for the whole time, right? Like, how am I going to fill this entire 2 hours? Oh, that was a 3. That was perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. Perfect. All right, let's get some more tiles. Let's see. These are... Well, I'm going to need this later. Put this over here. This one I might need as well. Yep. Here's some more. Hopefully I have enough. I don't know if I have enough. Looking at this very small, dwindling pile of tiles in this box. That's going to be so disappointing if I run out of them. This is like, I think the last... Well, I mean, there's going to be other points where we need them. Next time I'm in a Lego store and I see that they have 2x1 light bluish gray, dark gray tiles, I'm just going to have to get a whole bucket like this, like I have with the white ones. And that needs a 1. I mean, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. I just don't want to ruin it by putting some white under here. It probably would be fine. It wouldn't be ruined. I just don't want to do it. There's that internal satisfaction of knowing that I did it all the right way. Right? And it's not like this is the wrong way either. Again, I don't want to make it seem like, oh my god, he used a white piece under there. He just burned him at the stake. Oops, that's the wrong. The light. But yeah. Yeah, I found memories of going to Dallas when I was a kid. Going up there to visit my aunts. Texas is one of those places that always seemed so foreign to me as a kid. Your best childhood memories are there. That's great. I just felt a connection with the Texan heritage. My dad still heavily identifies as a Texan. I mean, he was born there. He spent his, up till he was like 13, 14, he lived there. It's funny because I watched King of the Hill, and I think because of that background, I understand the jokes more. Mahalo for being here, Coded. I greatly appreciate that. Like I said, Devoted, I know you know Coded, but if you're not already following them, check them out. You'll enjoy the content. Just a chill dude. And I feel like you were, because you were talking about his stream earlier. Good. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not going to make it to the end. I'm going to be about 20 brick tiles short. Yeah, I'm going to be short. So therein lies the question. Do I put down white bricks, knowing that I will most likely never pull them up, just so that I can mark this as being done today? Because I probably will never pull this up. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's funny that the concept of permanence that goes into something like this. How it seeps into all the things that we do. This idea that we've done this and therefore it exists. And it is complete because we have finished it. I always find that so interesting. Right? When I think about that, I don't know if you caught my stream the other day. But I found out that the first house my wife and I bought, which we sold about 4 years ago, was on the market again. And the people who bought it from us have sold it, and it's under contract for roughly $100,000 more than we sold it to them for. So, good for them. At the end of the day, good for them. But it was interesting to look at this property that meant so much to me and my family and see what they had changed about it. What things did they feel needed improvement? What did they leave alone? It's just interesting to look at. To think about. Alright, let's put that one down. Now we can get these ones out. And again, we're just filling in these gaps here. Then we'll plop that down. Fours, threes, twos. Do I have no... Wow. That's shocking. I have no white 2x1s. 1x2s. I wonder what I did with them all. All right, let's fill these gaps in. So that's going to go right there. And once we're done with this, they will have been a very successful stream. I'm very happy with myself. I'm very pleased with what this came out to be. That, let's do the 4, and then a 1. One by one plate. Oh, wow. Yeah, my childhood home, my mom did a lot of work when she put it on the market. And good for her for doing the work and maximizing her investment. Right, because at the end of the day, that's what matters, that she got her money. Alright, this is going to be fun. So let's go with a 2. And we'll do another one. That was my childhood home. I was born into that home. I was raised in that home. Went to college from that home. It's weird to think someone else had that home. It was in the family for almost 50 years. But now someone else gets to use that home as the family. It's their home. Some other kid will form their memories there. The cherished things that they did will be formed based upon that house. When I think about the house that we sold, the same type of memories, right? That's the house that I brought my wife home to the first time as a married couple. That's the house I brought both of my kids home to from the hospital. And someone else got to form those memories, and now they've sold it on to the next ones. Right? They were good stewards of the house. I'm not going to sweat that. I'm not sweating that. Because I realized I could just pull those 2 up and I could get 2 more studs in it. But I'm not going to worry about that. That will be another day if I get really nitpicky. I hope I never get that nitpicky. Why is that not pushing down? There. Did that not run flush for some reason? That doesn't run flush. Oh. That needs to hold in there. Start pulling these out. Now we'll go in this a little better. There. I still don't like that. That's not sitting on something right. Okay. Alright, let's put that back in. There it is. All right. Okay, that sits in much better now. So let's turn this like that. Well, that doesn't like that. All right, let's try it again. Why does this keep hitting on something? All right, let's pull this hole. Put that in its place. See if that does anything. Countdown E. Mahalo for being here as always. Mahalo for being here. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you for keeping me company tonight as I work through why this will not lay flat. What is the barrier that's causing it to pop up? I think it's this. Every time I find a little more that won't keep it up. So let's just take that out. Pull all these off. Does it sit down flat without those pieces there? No, it doesn't. Oh, that's interesting. That's what was causing this problem the whole time. That piece got in there somehow. All right, let's put that back. Let's put that back. Hold on a second. Hey. All right, I need to go move my daughter. I'll be right back.
Dad will be right back.
Dad will be right back.
He might use the bathroom.
He might get a snack.
He might move Audrey.
He might move Sam to his bedroom.
He might move Maggie.
He might go to get a snack or a drink in 5 minutes.
He might be right back in 1 minute or
2 minutes.
3 minutes.
4 minutes.
5 minutes.
6 minutes.
7 minutes.
8 minutes.
9 minutes.
10 minutes.
Or an hour. If you see a streamer's name pop up in the chat, he might come to rate someone.
He might just come to go. He might just come to go to the bathroom also. And please don't say he needs to go poop.
And I was ready for the grand finale, and we all shout, he's gonna be right back.
He's gonna be right back.
Dad will be right back.
Dad will be right back.
He might use the bathroom.
He might get a snack.
He might move Audrey.
He might move Sam to his bedroom.
He might move Maggie.
He might go to get a snack or a drink in 5 minutes.
He might be right back in 1 minute or
2 minutes.
3 minutes.
4 minutes.
Or right now. All right. We found what was causing that problem. We get rid of it. Let's put these back on, because that should solve the problem. There we go. This is so frustrating because every time I get it in, I push down on one area too hard and I pop it right back out. All right. There. Perfect. Okay. Oh my Lord, we did it. Now we can start putting this back together. This is going to go like that. That's also going to go in like that. This is... Oh, nope. Nope, come on. Out we go. Alright. Keep working on that. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Uh-huh. And then this goes there. This piece goes on top of that. That goes in that spot right there. That goes in right there. That's going to go right there. What am I going to do? Let's put a 3 on that bar there. There we go. All right, so there's some more stuff I can do in here. Let's put these on so we at least get this looking pretty. Push it down before pushing that on because we don't need to lock it out of place. Always push down on the train track before putting it in. And it just pops up because of the curvature of it and the tightness we've created. I didn't push down on the train track. Yep. Yep. Works. Yeah, there's still work I gotta do on this. I mean, I think it's better than it was before. It's closer to what I need it to look like as a finalized vision. But there still are tweaks and improvements that need to be made to it. Those are tweaks for another day. Ooh, I can do it. I can do a 2-for-1 right there. Yeah, so there's improvements to be made, but for the most part, I feel very happy with what it looks like right now, compared to what it had been looking like. Like, I feel now when people look at it, I'm not going to have to say it's a work in progress. I can get away with being like, no, this is the way it's going to look. Right? This at least mostly looks like it needs to look. This could use some work. But, hey. Okay. Let's find someone to raid, shall we? Who do we have? Let's open up another tab. Channels I follow. I feel like local brick shop is the best choice right now. If they're still on. They're still on. We just look to see if there's anyone else I feel like I need to raid. It's always good to raid people who are part of your community. I'm not saying local brick shop isn't, but you know, if I had a person who watches me often that was alive right now, they'd be, you know, obvious choice. But they're not. Let's raid the local big brick shop. Mahalo for being here. Mahalo for being part of my growth as a leader and a communicator. Our next stream is going to be Friday. This Friday. Yeah. This Friday I'm doing something. This Friday is just, I think it's just a stream with me and Sam. We're playing of a game together. So come by, check us out. Let's go raiding. You get into it over here on his so I can see him the second I raid.
Things like that get stuck sometimes.
Let's go.
Yeah, they're big time sucker. They're so fun. I also like it to do as much side stuff as possible, as long as side stuff is fun. Yeah, I mean, it's just like a lot of the old games like that.